Hi everyone. Continuing with our journey on what healing is all about. क्या है healing? जब हम बात करते हैं कि we want to heal, this is how we should get the healing. It is not only about when we are talking about the different modalities of healing. It is also about being aware कि हम क्या heal करना चाह रहे हैं और कैसे, right? So healing, what is healing, right? It is not a one-time event. Let me tell you that. क्योंकि it's a continuous process of healing, of becoming something that you are wishing to become. Now it is like कि हम सोचते हैं कि अगर healing overnight हो जाती है, नहीं, ऐसे नहीं होता है. Healing is like you have to give yourself some time, some kind of therapies, some kind of awareness, and we also have to align कि हम चाहते क्या हैं exactly, and हम अपने actions और अपने values को उसके साथ align जब करते हैं तब healing शुरू होती है. It's not about fixing something which is broken. It is about creating what is whole, right? Secondly, healing is not about avoiding pain. It is embracing it. हम सोचते हैं कि हम हील कर रहे हैं तो इसका मतलब हमें पेन ही नहीं होगा, हम नम कर देंगे, हम सप्रेस कर देंगे कोई भी चीज को तो वो हम हील हो जाएंगे. नहीं, यू हैव टू फेस इट, एम्ब्रेस इट, एक्नॉलेज इट. क्योंकि किसी भी चीज को व्हेन वी ब्रश इट अंडर द कारपेट इट इज नॉट हेल्पिंग अस. इट इज देयर. आप जिस दिन वो कारपेट उठाओगे वो सब उड़ के आएगा बाहर, राइट? So when you brush it under the carpet and we think it is done and we have numbed it and suppressed it, it's not working. It Pain can only show us that what is it that we need to heal within us and what is it that we need to face, and that is what we have to do. And pain can also help us to develop empathy, resilience, gratitude, right? When we face our pain with courage, with curiosity and compassion, and use it as a fuel to heal ourselves, it works better, it works faster, and gives you a long lasting result. Right? Thirdly, healing is not about finding happiness, it is about finding the meaning that you are looking for. Does it make sense to you? लगता है कि जो मैं बोल रही हूँ कि ठीक है. हम सभी कहते हैं कि हैप्पीनेस इज द अल्टीमेट गोल ऑफ आवर लाइफ. वी ऑल वांट टू बी हैप्पी. नाउ कैन वी बी इन दैट स्टेट कॉन्स्टेंटली? दैट्स अ ब्लिस इफ वी कैन बी, राइट? हम सोचते हैं कि हम हैप्पी इसलिए हैं बिकॉज एट अ पर्टिकुलर मोमेंट, पर्टिकुलर इमोशन, सब्जेक्टिव इमोशन, ये हो जाएगा तो हम खुश हैं, ऐसे हो जाएगा तो ठीक है, तो दैट विल मेक मी हैप्पी. डोंट यू थिंक कि वो हैप्पीनेस बड़ी मोमेंटरली होती है? डोंट यू थिंक कि दैट्स अ वेरी शॉर्ट लिव्ड हैप्पीनेस? बिकॉज हम बिगर उस पे देख ही नहीं रहे हैं. when we have a sense of direction, when we have motivation, when we have fulfillment, and when we are ready, when we are ready enough to face all kind of adversities and sufferings in our lives, whatever is coming our way, not necessarily all the time we are suffering, but at the same point of time, there are many things which show up in our lives, right? So when we are ready to do that, and when we are in gratitude for whatever is being shown to us, given to us, don't you think that is what we are looking for rather than that happiness जो short lived है? How will it feel like when we have that joy, that fulfillment, that bliss all the time? Isn't it wonderful? Now, moving on to the next thing. Healing is not about changing ourselves, but about accepting ourselves. That's what we discussed earlier also, that हम एम्ब्रेस करते हैं अपनी पेन को, राइट? तो इसी तरह व्हेन वी आर नॉट जजिंग आवरसेल्व्स, नॉट रिजेक्टिंग आवरसेल्व्स, and we are accepting ourselves completely for what we are, the healing is faster. Anybody and everybody who shows us something that triggers in us something, some emotion, some anger, some any kind of emotion, right? That's a mirror. They are just mirroring what we have inside us. हम अपने आप को ही इतना रिजेक्ट करते हैं, हम अपने आप को ही इतना जज करते हैं, एंड देन वी स्टार्ट वाइब्रेटिंग विद दैट एनर्जी कि दूसरा आदमी हमें जज करेगा ही करेगा। अगर हम ही अपने आप को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम ही जज नहीं करेंगे, तो व्हाई वुड पीपल लुक इनटू आवर फ्लॉज, आवर वीकनेसेस, आवर इम्परफेक्शंस? वी ऑल आर ह्यूमन एंड वी ऑल आर वर्दी ऑफ लव, रिस्पेक्ट, compassion. But everything starts from your own self first. हम किसी को वही दे सकते हैं जो हमारे पास है। अगर हमारे पास लव एंड कंपैशन अपने लिए ही नहीं है, if our heart is not full of that, how do you think you are going to share it with anybody and give it to anybody? That will not happen, right? So all the projections, all the expectations, judgments that you have, and the rejections that you have for your own self, can you now please destroy and create? And start embracing yourself. Start accepting yourself completely and wholly. This is what you are. That is what you are being. And that is where you have come, right? On the same level, when I talk about relying on others rather than relying on ourselves, healing happens then when you start relying on your own self. Now, when I say that, relying on yourself, what does that mean? It means that हम अपने आप को कितनी बारी इनवैलिडेट कर देते हैं। हमारी इंट्यूशंस, हमारी गट फीलिंग्स, जब हम बात करते हैं कि आई हैड दैट गट फीलिंग, आई हैड दैट इंस्टिंक्ट कि ये करना है, ये नहीं करना है, या ऐसे करते हैं, आई हैड दैट इंट्यूशन, हम कितनी बारी उसको निग्लेक्ट कर देते हैं ना? वाई? बिकॉज वी आर ट्राइंग कि वॉट वी आर डिपेंडेंट अपॉन अदर्स, राइट? हमको लगता है नहीं नहीं, वो ये कह रहा है तो वो बेटर है, उसकी विजडम ज्यादा है, विदाउट फॉलोइंग आवर ओन इंट्यूशंस। दे कुड बी राइट ऑल्सो। There are times when we follow somebody else's advice and it works. Yes, it does work. But if you are aligning and agreeing with it, and if you are ready to receive that and understand कि अच्छा, this is what makes sense, and if you align with it, then only go for it. If your intuition is saying something else, follow that. That is also healing because हम external sources of comfort, external sources of support and guidance ढूंढते रहते हैं। हम सोचते हैं लोग हमें हील कर सकते हैं, people will fix up the situations for us or they will save us, right? But हमारी responsibility to fix ourselves is ours only. Nobody else can do it. आज अगर आप ठीक होना चाहते हो, तो आपको पहले ठीक होने के लिए एक वो विजडम होनी चाहिए ना कि मुझे ठीक होना है, मुझे डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, या मुझे किसी डॉक्टर से के पास जाके उसके साथ कंसल्ट करना है। दैट इज योर फर्स्ट स्टेप। अगर आप वो स्टेप ही नहीं लोगे, कोई जबरदस्ती आपको उठाकर डॉक्टर के पास नहीं ले जा सकता, राइट? सो यू हैव टू take responsibility for your own healing and to cultivate your own inner resources of strength, wisdom, peace. You have to trust yourself and listen to yourself. That is important for your healing to happen, right? And it is also not, healing is also not about staying the same, right? You have to grow and evolve. Healing does not mean कि you cannot grow. मतलब हम एक चीज को heal कर लिया, that does not mean कि हम perfectly we are all right for years to come. There are many layers which keep showing up. बहुत सारी चीजें at different time, similar situations में हम different तरह से react करते हैं या बात करते हैं. But there are many things which show up. तो क्या करना है? Evolve करना है ना? तो evolve करने के लिए क्या करना है? We have to heal ourselves, right? So healing is not about returning to who we were before we were hurt, but about becoming who are we meant to be. अगर एक ही सिचुएशन दोबारा एक बारी होने के बाद दोबारा हो, तो हम एज अ evolved being, as a person who has already been healed, आपका रिएक्शन बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होगा. You may not even react. You may just listen to it, look at it as an outsider and not get into the whole situation. You might be out of it completely. Won't that be a wonderful situation? Don't you think that is a good way to heal yourself? When you heal, you are not getting into that situation again with that kind of intensity. So, when we use healing as a catalyst for creativity, innovation, and excellence, we are ready to embrace the change. And lastly, healing is not about reaching a destination. Enjoy your journey. It's not that once the healing is done, it's done. It's not that once the healing is done, so we are good for all times to come. It's not a finite process. It's not a linear process, not a predictable process. It's a dynamic process. It's complex. It's infinite. You can be, when you are getting into a healing, it can be very challenging. You can be crying, you can be howling, you can be scary, you can have the pain, anything and everything is possible. But if you continue and you appreciate every moment that you are going through in your healing journey and celebrate every milestone and every breakthrough and every achievement. So the healing not only becomes a surviving thing, but it also becomes a thriving thing for you, right? So be with these 7 things that I discussed just now. And then it's an inspiration from what all we learn and whatever we have contributed so far over the years. Explore them, think about them. We are there to give you, show you how you can heal. We can hold your hand and make you walk that path of healing. Reach out to us if you feel connected to this at any point of time. Thank you so much.